You know, you just wrote a piece about Bryce Harper and what it would mean if he actually does land in Philly. What is the latest that you're hearing? I guess probably what we're hearing, that it seems to be very close, and the owner flew out to Vegas, right?
Yeah, I don't know if it's close. I know the Phillies' interest is intense. But this development overnight with the Dodgers jumping back in on a short-term deal is really going to cause a dilemma for Scott Boras, the agent, because, you know, all along he has been seeking a long-term deal for Bryce Harper and telling people that it's going to take a long-term deal. But, you know, I think the apple of Harper's eye in terms of a destination would be the Dodgers. He's from Vegas, and he's got that Hollywood persona, and I think he would love to play in Los Angeles, and where he could maybe become sort of a LeBron James of baseball. But you hear they only want to do a short-term deal, so that is going to create a dilemma for Team Harper and Team Boras, and I'm sure it is causing some anxiety with the Phillies brass as they try to nail this thing down, and with the Washington brass as they monitor the market. And look, everybody thinks they're going to get a chance to, you know, call back and say, okay, we're ready. You want to do anything? So, boy, I'm just going to be happy when it's over.
Yeah, I mean, we know this from the D.C. perspective, and we keep talking about it. What's it like for Philadelphia and the players? Like, they have to deal with it. I know that you wrote about, like, Andrew McCutchen saying it's crazy. What's it like for the team?
There is, you know, it is Harper hysteria really has gripped Clearwater and camp in Philadelphia. I mean, they had that outdoor hockey game the other night, and I heard they were chanting Bryce Harper's name, and they had bed sheets out there, 69,000 people. In the clubhouse, there's some excitement because he would make them better. And there's also some anxiety because he's going to come in and push some people out the door. So they, too, in the clubhouse would like to get it over ASAP.
Now, you're right about the Dodgers thing. I didn't think he would ever sign a short term, but maybe he'll sign a 4-year, you know, $130 million deal or whatever.
Yeah, what if it's like with the Dodgers, and this is something that was talked about for a long time, the possibility of a short-term deal with the Dodgers, and it was talked about at the winter meetings, and it had gotten shot down through, you know, the Scott Boras kind of the way he can shoot things down kind of quietly but effectively. But, you know, you look at the Dodgers, they haven't won a World Series since '88. There is, I would say, desperation to win a World Series. You look at the NL West, you know, you got the Padres, though they signed Manny, but you get the Padres and the Arizona Diamondbacks and the San Francisco Giants are all in a rebuild. The Dodgers pretty much smooth sailing in that division, you know, except for, I'd say, an improving Colorado club. But the division on a whole is kind of down. The thinking you get them on a short-term deal, you know, maybe something like 4 years, 160 with an AAV of 40. And, you know, you take your chances at winning a couple World Series here over the next, you know, 4 years while he's there. I think that would make some sense baseball-wise for the Dodgers. But, again, Boras has been seeking this long-term deal. So, you know, I'm sure that creates a bit of a dilemma for him, as I said. But I'm sure he doesn't mind having another high-powered team in this thing to just drive up prices.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, no one really knows, but all we've been hearing over the last few weeks is there's no way Bryce is signing a short-term deal. You know, he wasn't interested in the Giants. He wasn't interested in any other short-term deal. The Padres, now the Dodgers. But the Dodgers could be a game changer, right? If he really he seems like more of an L.A. guy than a Philly guy, no doubt.
Yeah, I don't think he does not have an aversion to playing in Philly. I will tell you that. I've talked to people close to him. There is not an aversion to playing Philly if the contract and the money and the length is right. That said, the Dodgers have always been his storybook destination, and it would be difficult to compete with that.
But if the Dodgers are back in it on a short-term deal, why wouldn't maybe the Nats be back in it on a short-term deal? Place where he's familiar, he's already got the fan base, his wife loves the town. Why wouldn't that put the Nats suddenly back in the equation?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, different prices for different destinations, and we don't know that he would even accept a short-term deal. There's so much speculation and so little hard information that it's tough to know.
Now, and obviously we don't know what these offers are, but
Right.
what is your best guess on what the best Phillies offer has been?
You know, I think they've only probably made their offer very, very recently. I think the way Scott works is you talk a lot of concepts and ideas, and then the offer rolls. So I don't know what their best offer is, but they are aware of what Team Harper is seeking. Long-term, biggest ever. So
Right.
I'm sure that if they're flying out there on, March or February, whatever it is here, at the end of February, they know the rules. They know the parameters, and they're willing to go long-term, and they know he wants the largest guarantee ever, 5+.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure they know what those numbers mean, and I would be pretty certain there's a willingness to go there.
What would he mean to a Phillies lineup?
Wow, I mean, they've done a good job with their lineup already. They added a guy who gets 200 hits a year at shortstop, in Segura. They added really good baseball. Otto, Andrew McCutcheon's still got game left. Rhys Hoskins is an improving player. So you'd add another big menacing bat in the middle of that lineup in a ballpark, a real good hitter's ballpark. So he would mean, he walks a lot, he hits home runs.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the Phillies love, so, to get on base and hit the ball over the wall. He'd mean a ton. He might be the difference between in a tough division, he might be the difference between a third or fourth place team and a division winner.